could see Reed Shepard being in the starting five, honestly. Like, to me personally, he feels like the second best player on the Rockets in the next coming years, next to Şengün. Um, but I mean, X Factor wise, always have to consider Jalen Green to be like
Yep.
the franchise guy. So it's a very interesting situation for the Rockets because they are very flashy overall.
Mhm. I don't know how how I feel about your two best players being Reed Shepherd and Alperen Şengün. Obviously, you're not saying next season, but just in general, just the idea of that is kind of suspect to me. But I think Fred VanVleet is a great role model for Reed. Like, Reed will be his backup guard. He can kind of just do the same things Fred does, not as good just because he's young. Um, and just kind of like build from there. There's no rush to me to bring him to the starting lineup. I see Rockets fans being like, or not Rockets fans, but NBA fans saying that Reed is already better than Jalen Green and stuff like that, which I'm just like, okay, relax, people. Give it some time. Let it happen. Don't announce it before it happens, or else like you might jinx it. Um, but yeah, nonetheless, it's gonna be fun to watch. Like I kind of like this Rockets team, which is not something I would have said 2 years ago. Because you just look at them now, it's just so many young players. And I was looking at the roster the other day. They have I think it's four top three picks on the team right now. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but four top three picks: Cam Whitmore, um, Jalen Green. I'm just listing young players right now: Tari Eason, Alperen Şengün, Reed Shepherd, Jabari Smith Jr. That's like six players that are like high level prospects going into their college year, and a bunch of them being top three picks. So it's just like, wow, this team is loaded with interesting prospects to say the least. Um, but yeah, Matt, any thoughts on the Rockets' young core?
Cam Whitmore. Nah, it's like they're always gonna show out for NBA Summer League. Like every time, they're always gonna pack the bunch. Always draft a guy with athleticism. I've seen a lot of comments about obviously Jalen Green potentially being out of the lineup, but he's had months in the past where you're just like, well, we've seen what he can become. He's had months where he's averaged 30, shooting probably like 50% from three, and then turning away on those threes as well just to make them better. But this almost makes me think of like where does the Rockets young core stand? I think in terms of overall, obviously sounds like we're biased, but I think the Thunder lead in terms of young core because that's obviously the one seed, second youngest team in the league. I think at the moment I don't know if free agency has changed that, but possibly what we could do is we could compare. Maybe let's compare the Rockets against the Grizzlies. That's probably the only other team that would kind of match them around. Unless you just say Spurs and then the Spurs is just Wemby.
Would you count the Grizzlies as a young core though? They feel a little bit older to me, at least now. Or
What do you count
maybe
as
they're
young
just
core?
too good too quick. Because isn't Desmond Bain like, pushing 25? John Moran is like 24, 25, or John's probably like 24-ish now.
Yeah, he's
JJ
24.
Bane,
He's turning
he's around
25 in a
25.
month.
What about Zach
Yeah, so
Edey and JJ Jackson?
Zach is like 22. Here
Santi
I have their
Aldama.
ages. Santi Aldama 23. They're like on the border. Like how young are we talking with these young cores?
See, most people say under 25. I don't like under 25.
It's
Yeah, I'd say
probably more
like
like 23,
yeah,
24.
23 or younger because like the Thunder would run away with this, so just to make it more interesting. Uh to me, I'm looking at the Spurs, the Rockets, and let's see. Portland has a deep young core. I don't know how good they are though, because of the lack of top end talent. Um, I don't think Toronto qualifies as of yet,
What about the
unfortunately.
Orlando
And
Magic?
yes, and they were
Magic.
going to be the next team. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would say based off my quick analysis, it'd be those teams. Do you guys want to include the Detroit Pistons or no in
No.
this? No, okay. Uh, Chicago Bulls are like low key, but like let's watch them play first, and then we can bring them on here. All right. So we have Spurs, Rockets, Trailblazers, and Magic as our young cores. Trailblazers are probably the worst one. We can quickly touch on them, or do we want to do this debate style? What are we thinking?
Love a debate.
All right,
Yeah.
so Alex, pick a young core, and then Matt, pick a young core, and then you guys are gonna duke it out. So it's
Uh, I just don't want
Spurs.
Alex to get
Yeah,
the Magic. That's too easy for him.
That's true.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
that's probably too easy for me. Okay, so should I not take the Magic then?
All right, Alex takes the Magic. Matt, there's the Spurs, Rockets, Pistons, Blazers. Those are some of the best ones that I see.
I'm gonna go Spurs.
Spurs, all right. Um, you guys are gonna have about a minute each. Do you guys want me to time it? Like, how serious do we want to be?
Of course. I was trying to add a
All right.
timer on Zoom, but I don't know that just
It's
yet.
it's all good. I'll have it with me. All right. So who's gonna go first? Uh,
I'll let
Alex had
Matt
the
go
first.
first.
Alex had the first pick. So Matt, you can decide. Do you want Alex to go first, or do you want to go first?
I want to go first because I feel like Alex is just going to try and rebuttal most of my points and not actually like,
Sell his thing, his
yeah.
team.
So I'm
Okay.
I'm here to sell. I'm
All
here
right,
on my
Matt.
Don Draper shit.
Tell us why the San Antonio Spurs have the best young core in the NBA. Your timer starts now.
Okay, let me just start by naming at least a dozen under 23 players that are going to be on the Spurs this season. You got Charles Bassey, Malachi Branham, Julian Champagne, Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell, Victor Wembanyama, Blake Wesley. One name stands out above all, and it's not Devin Vassell, it's Victor Wembanyama. This guy is already a top five player in the NBA as it stands, and he's just turned 20. Okay. This is hands down the best young player in the world right now. So I'm going top heavy in my argument and saying that this guy is going to carry the Spurs franchise. And basically, he's going to be the best young player that we're going to see for a long time. You've also got those nice complementary pieces in Jeremy Sohan, who's a defensive menace. He's absolutely locking up for Poland. We've seen what Devin Vassell can do. And you just got some of these nice pieces that are going to help out. But the main showpiece is Victor Wembanyama. He's one of the best defenses on the court just himself. And the things he's going to do over the next year is going to be incredible. And I think it's going to do nothing what the Magic can do.
All right, and time. Good job, Matt. All right, Alex, you ready?
Give you a second. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Ah,
So Alex, tell us why the Magic are the best young core in the NBA.
okay. Now listen up, man. I know. Wemby is all good in that like best young player of all time, and honestly, I'm nothing against that, but like it's at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and when you look at the Magic roster and where they've been, the second most successful young team besides OKC last season, and looking at their talent, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, two absolute franchise players. That's one more franchise player than you have with the Spurs right now, because like half of the Spurs players, I'm not really even sure if they're going to be in the league in the next 5 years. With the Magic, you most definitely got players that will be there for a longer time. Like Jalen Suggs, for example, will be there. Jet Howard is going to be there. Tristan da Silva is going to be there. Like there's going to be a nice German connection overall with the Magic, which is always a good sign. And obviously, you still get Anthony Blake as well. And that's
All right, thanks, Alex. So how do we decide this, guys? Do we want to rebuttal or do we want to just like I'll just pick which
I would
argument
love a
I like.
30-second rebuttal.
All right, so 30-second rebuttal. Matt gets the first rebuttal. Timer starts now.
Alex, we're talking about a core. This is a team sport. You can name three players right there: Franz, Paolo, and Nancy Black. You cannot name anyone that anyone would know on the surface level of the moon on that Magic team past those three players, okay? I assure you, people on Victor Wembanyama, they're seeing that on the moon reflected, okay? This is the NBA. It's built around superstars, okay? There is no way you are not seeing this guy on your basically as soon as you wake up. That's how big this guy is, and he's gonna be massive.
All right, thanks, Matt. All right, Alex, your 30-second rebuttal starts now.
No, listen up, Matt. That's very disrespectful for Jalen Suggs, who's just become all defensive guy last season. And honestly, it's still a team sport. I know, yeah, it's superstars and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, the team's going to win it. And which other team than the Spurs know it best? So, in my opinion, the Magic have a very bright future in front of them. Yes, the Spurs as well, but they still need time because none of the players are floor on the floor of.
All right. Time is up. Time is up. Um, that was good. I think that was a fun exercise, guys. What did you guys think?
Yeah,
It's
Do
just
I have to give
easy.
my
very tough,
I'm
very
just so
tough
used
one.
to arguing against Alex.
All right, do I have to give my pick now on like whose argument I buy more?
Of course.
Or it's not even just the argument, but it's just the talking points and like the roster and stuff like that. I think I would give it to Alex just because Matt had a really good talking point, but it was just centered around Wemby, which I get, but it was just like you could have sold me more on like Stephon Castle's upside, Devin Vassell's upside with Wemby. But I think centering just on Wemby a little bit too much. And then I think just the fact that the Magic are a better team kind of helped as well, just overall. But it was fun. I like both your opinions. Matt looks like he's gonna ask for a revote, so we're gonna ask the Amology listeners to we're probably gonna put a poll or something. You guys can let us know, DM us if you don't see the poll, and just tell us who had the better argument between Matt and Alex.